I'm really looking forward to this showdown. This is a direct-to-consumer, a DTC showdown between the Haywood PD.1 and the Maltby TS1 IM. I've got both 7 irons here. These are both players' distance irons. If you want to learn more about any of these, check out my channel. I've done a review on both. I put both of these up against a 2021 P790, and they both outperformed that club. So, which one of these takes the cake? I'll go ahead and put a comparison of the stats right here while I'm talking so you can check them out. But essentially very similar clubs. The TS1 is weaker lofted at 32.5 degrees, where the Haywood PD1 7 iron is 30.5 degrees, so it's a bit stronger. I'd say that's the biggest difference I can see. One thing to note, I do have a more premium shaft here in the Haywood PD1. I have a dynamic gold mid-flight 115 gram S300 shaft. Whereas in the TS1 IM, I have the True Temper Score LT, which is a much more affordable shaft, also in a stiff flex. At first, it was hard to tell the difference, but I can feel that the Score is a little bit whippier. It's a little flexier than the Dynamic Gold 115 Mid S300. A quick price comparison. The TS1 IM with a premium shaft like the Haywood has, like the PD1, they are pretty much the same price. I mean, depending on the price of shafts at the moment, let's say give or take 20 to 50 bucks. So essentially identical in price when you have a premium shaft in the TS1 IM. However, Maltby through GolfWorks gives you so many shaft options to customize this bad boy. But if you buy the pack, this comes in around $500 versus this coming in around $700. So again, you have the flexibility to get an ultra budget club or get a more premium shaft, and these become very, very similar in price. Without further ado, let's do our shot test. We're gonna hit some shots with the 7 irons. Let's do this, I'm excited. Okay, I warmed up a bit. I've got the TS1 IM that I'm gonna hit first. We'll try and hit somewhere around 10 shots with each, and then we'll check out the data. And then we're gonna score it in my 5 categories. All right, hit that a little thin, but I got way up there. It did, spin was up, only carried it, we'll call it 180. I want to direct your eyes to the upper right. So keep your eyes on total spin, carry, total length, backspin. Those are the numbers we're looking at here. Okay, we'll get into a groove here. There we go. There we go. Okay, that carried, holy crap, 197. These are just very long irons. They feel so good. They really do. That last one really did come off hot. This is more what I'd expect, 185. That felt really good. Felt really good. Yep, 186. Yeah, these just, they feel good. They're so not clicky. Okay, 181. Again, good shot. That was pretty middled. Hold it left. 195. Okay. All right. Let's switch clubs. Now up is the Haywood PD.1. I'm going to pay attention to feel and then carry distances. So Again, check out the data in the upper right. The top line on this is pretty nice. I do like the top line on the Haywood. Yeah. This is going to be tough, guys. This is going to be tough. Didn't launch as high. It launched high. Don't get me wrong. This launched high. The TS1 IM, I think, we'll put it to the test. We'll see. But this is stronger lofted at 30.5 degrees. So 193 carry. This feels good. Ooh, sprayed that. That wasn't my best strike, y'all. I mean, it was a little towards the heel. Okay, we shall adjust. .186. The feel's going to be tough on this. Gosh dang it, the feel's going to be hard. They're both more on the muted side. Like on the soft side for player's distance. Not as soft as my forged clubs, but soft nonetheless. Whoo! Okay, 200. Whoo, I'm sweating. That was a good shot. That was a good shot. Okay, 191 carry. Okay, that wraps it up. Let's look into the numbers. I want to take a second to say thank you to all my viewers, to all my subscribers. If you're not subscribed, it's the best way to help me continue to make these videos for you so you don't waste your money on expensive golf gear. Okay, I got a suggestion from somebody in the comments that I really liked. Like, let's just look at all the shots. I did take out 2 total outliers here that were really short for one of each club, but I want to include the bad shots in this. We'll look at that, and then we'll go back and we'll look at the top 6 shots of each, somewhere around there. But yeah, let's just look at all of it and all of its glory here. So PD1 on top, TS1 IM on the bottom. Club speed, I was swinging the PD1 about 1 mile per hour more. It's I hit it second, so I loosened up and was swinging faster as we went on. Due to that, the ball speeds were up a bit more total by a couple of degrees. So that checks out. Carry distances, that equates to about 5 yards difference in average carry distance. So the Haywood was going a bit further. Total distance, that equates to, again, 5 yards. The TS1 IM was going 2 degrees higher. So all of this really checks out when it comes to the difference in the loft of the irons. When it comes to spin, the TS1 IM was spinning a bit more than the PD1. Not by much though, that's pretty dang close. 100 RPM, you're not going to see much difference there. When we look at carry dispersion, that's pretty much identical. Looks like the longest carry was with the Haywood, and the shortest was a tie between the Haywood and the PD1. So now I'm going to cut out the bad shots and we'll re-look at the data. Okay, so I left the 7 best shots for each. Again, PD1 on the top, TS1 on the bottom. We get a little bit closer in club speed here. Ball speed, almost identical. The carry distance becomes much closer to where, you know, we're within 3 yards carry distance with the PDM edging out a tad. You'd expect that with the loft of the club. Total distance right here, right around 3 yards difference. Peak height, still a 3 yard difference on peak height with the TS1 going higher. And then backspin. So the backspin is almost the same, almost exactly the same average for the TS1 IM, where it does drop here with the PD1. Interesting stuff, interesting stuff. So the gap did get a bit tighter once we just look at the dispersion, but man, the dispersion circles again are about the same. They're about the same. They're about the same size. They were the same size with the bad shots as well. So forgiveness is going to be really hard to tell. It's going to be really hard to tell. This is going to be a tough one, guys. It's time to decide who wins in each of the 5 categories. This is going to be my hardest comparison yet because they just performed so similarly. A reminder, the 5 categories are forgiveness, feel and sound, workability, looks, and value. First, for forgiveness. This was hard. This is hard because it wasn't far off, but you have to look at the data. When we went from all shots included, including the bad shots, up to only the 7 best, the Haywood barely beat out the TS1 IM. There was a difference between all bad shots and only good shots. There was only a difference of 4 yards on average with the PD1, where there was a difference of 6 yards on the TS1 IM. I mean, we're within 2 yards. Guys, these are both very forgiving clubs. Without the data, it would have been really hard to pick. I would say the PD1 barely inches the Maltby TS1 IM when it comes to forgiveness, according to the data. Numbers don't lie. When it comes to feel and sound, again, this is so close to being a tie, but I'm going to have to go with the TS1 IM. It feels good off the face. It really does. They're both muted. They're both softer player's distance irons, but the TS1 just feels slightly better. This is more of a personal preference thing, but I prefer the TS1 IM barely over the PD1. When it comes to workability, it's going to be a dead tie. I can move them both left to right a little bit. It is harder to control though, versus like my blades that I play, my gamers, the Maltby TS4s. I can work those much easier than both of these. And these, one did not stand out over the other when it came to workability. So when it comes to looks, this again, very, very much a personal preference, but I know which one I like better. I know which ones look better in the bag. At address, very similar. Very similar looking top line. Maybe the PD1 towards the toe. The top line gets a little thinner looking, but not enough to make a difference. I think that is one of the sexiest clubs out there right now. Whoever Maltby's using to design their clubs needs a raise because the TS1 IM is absolutely beautiful. This wasn't super close for me. This is an easy one. TS1 IM. TS1 IM takes the looks. People ask me about these. I had these in the bag for a while, and I got questions about them for sure. Last is value. So if you're going to spend your money, which one should you spend your money on? It's hard, and it depends. Because if you put the same shaft in both of them, they're about the same price. They're about the same price. Right around $700 if you put like a dynamic gold shaft in the TS1 IM, which pitching wedge through 4-iron, the PD1 is $700. If you're not worried about having a premium shaft, the TS1, you can buy it in the pack, spelled PAK, on their website for under $500 for 4-through pitching wedge with the True Temper Score LT shafts. If you're not a shaft snob, go with the Maltbys. If you are a shaft snob, or you do want a fitted shaft that was fitted to you, or a nice shaft, and you can tell the difference, the price is the same. But here's where one differentiates itself. On GolfWorks, you have way more options with the TS1 IM. With the PD1, you have to buy an entire set. With the TS1 IM, you get to pick and choose the club. There are way more shaft options. It's just a much more customizable experience, and the value in that is invaluable. So when it comes to value, the Maltby TS1 IM is going to take the cake there by an inch. Thanks everybody for sticking around. Really appreciate you all. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you next time.